ShoeOnHead. Female gooners must be stopped. I don't know if you remember last time I was a little bit critical towards ShoeOnHead regarding politics. So hopefully this time we're gonna go back on track and I like ShoeOnHead as a content creator. Last time I was just a little bit shocked with some of the opinions she had. But anyway, without further ado, let's see what's this one about.
Oh, I didn't see you there. What am I reading, you ask? Well, just one of the best-selling books on Amazon right now. With millions of sales and almost 20,000 five-star reviews, this book has been absolutely blowing up, especially on TikTok, or Book Talk, as the kids call it. Thousands and thousands of women, in particular, have been raving about this piece of literature. What piece of literature is it, you may ask? Well, Morning Glory Milking Farm, of course. A popular romance novel about a young
Morning Glory Milking Farm. I mean, look at the title or the front page. Kind of looks like a fantasy book. Why do I have a feeling it's not going to be the fantasy I'm reading? But let's see.
Woman down on her luck who does what every young woman does when facing financial struggle. She starts
OnlyFans.
OnlyFans. No, I'm just kidding. She wouldn't degrade herself like that. She gets a job jerking off monsters.
That's right, the Morning Glory Milking Farm.
I have been reading
What?
Morning Glory Milking Farm since last night, and I'm obsessed.
This was a good time. It did not disappoint.
If this book is trash, then I am a f***ing raccoon. Give me all of the garbage.
Get your eyeballs on this, because it is so good.
Yo guys, if you're watching it, you definitely know what I'm thinking, right? From the girls who made those short skits about the book, right? If you don't know, just shoot me a comment. But yeah, it looks like the book has a audience that kind of looks like left-wing voters. I'm sorry, but yeah, I mean, I didn't see any septum rings yet, so we'll see.
I regret to inform you that there is a new epidemic. An epidemic that many have yet to discuss. And that epidemic is female gooners. Now, for those of you unaware,
What's
gooner
smut?
is internet slang for someone addicted to porn. And
Oh, I
smut
didn't know
is
that.
slang for dark romance novels, otherwise known as porn. Many correct about the dangers of porn addiction with men, how it can destroy their lives and their relationships, and most men know the material they consume is weird. That is why they are ashamed of it. That is why they delete their browser history. That is why they go incognito mode. But these bitches freaks out here. They display their smut openly in bookstores. They proudly
Oh,
pose
man.
in front of their smut collections. They discuss their smut openly on TikTok. They go to smut conventions and get choked out by 9-foot.
But hey, if someone cosplay, it's a laughing stock, right? And it's weird. What the fudge is this one? Oh man, that's crazy.
Tall shirtless wendigos. Now, I know what you are thinking. Shoo, isn't this the pot calling the kettle degenerate? Yes. Yes, it is. But have you considered it takes one to truly know one? You see, women are strange, fascinating creatures. For centuries, men have tried to figure us out. Our mood is affected by the tides and the moon. We bleed for 5 days and don't die. By painting my face, I can instantly
Do you know the joke? Don't trust anything that bleeds for 5 days and don't die.
shapeshift from a 4 to a 6. We are truly mysterious, magical creatures. But one of the most mysterious aspects of women to men is our sexuality. You see, us women are not like those disgusting
That's
moids.
true.
No, we are sophisticated. We are evolved. We don't watch videos of strangers slapping their sweaty bodies together. No, we read about strangers slapping their sweaty bodies together. It's different, okay? You don't understand. It's okay when we do it. So, let's talk about it. Let's talk about the rapidly growing popularity of dark romance on TikTok and the recent dark romance convention that ended in disaster. let's take a break from all this depressing political news and talk about something silly. Not that those political things aren't important, trust me, they are. You should be keeping up with politics and the news when you can. I know it can be difficult to do,
I know
but
where
fear
it's
not.
going.
I have an app for that. So before we get into this video, let's quickly give a shout out to our sponsor, Ground News. Ground News is a website and an app that gives readers an easy way to read news from all across the political spectrum, from left, right, and center. Every story comes with a
Shue,
quick
not today.
or use the QR code here on screen, or use the link in the video description. So thank you to Ground News for sponsoring this video, and thank you, the viewer, for not skipping the ad. Right? So let's get back to the video. Book Talk is a very interesting place, and any book fans out there know how it has absolutely destroyed the hobby of literature and just flooded it with absolute slop. Spicy slop. You see, books on TikTok are not rated by how well they are written or how good the characters are. No, they are rated by the spice. And what does spice mean? Porn. It means porn. Spice
No
level
way,
is
man.
very important to book talkers. How much spice does a book have? What are the spiciest books they have ever...
Fucking hypocrites, man. It's... How many times did you hear a girl complaining about a porn and then they read this shit? And honestly, to be... Like, I don't know what's worse. I was talking about it with my wife because she reacted to this video as well. And it's definitely hard to explain because she never watched porn, right? And to me, I would even say that reading this shit is more of a cheating than watching porn, you know? Because look, guy's perspective, with porn you just, I guess, choose the girl that you kind of like and that's it, right? But with this book thing, like, if it's your fantasy, if you're the person who's going through it, right, I would say that's cheating full on. Like, unless you're dreaming or having the fantasy of your partner, like exactly your partner, I would say that's more cheating than porn. I don't know, again, if you have different opinion, I would believe that the guys would agree with me and the girls will be like, no, it's just reading, it's just words. But it's kind of imagination, right? I don't know.
ever read. How spicy is the book they're currently reading? Spice, spice, spice. The spiciest book going viral on Book Talk lately is none other than Morning Glory Milking Farm by C.M. Nascosta. Violet is a typical down-on-her-luck millennial, mid-20s, overeducated, and drowning in debt. Oh my god! She's just like me! On the verge of moving into her parents' basement, when a lifeline appears in the form of a very unconventional job in the neighboring Cambric Creek. She has no choice but to grab it with both hands. Morning Glory Farm offers full-time hours, full benefits, and generous pay with no experience needed. There's only one catch. The clientele is grade A certified prime beef. Oh, God. With the manly, meaty endowments to... Okay.
I take it back. This is worse than porn. Like, what? It's gonna be a book about a girl jerking off a bull or minotaur or tauren or whatever. How? And the girls are gonna be picky about the nerds. Really? Really?
Morning Glory Milking Farm is actually a profound critique of late-stage capitalism and toxic masculinity. In this text, we see that the tingling sensation in her coochie is actually the tingling sensation of a Marxist revolution.
What the?
This is every fucking breadtube video to me, dude. This is every Jack Saint video. So I actually read the book myself, and I'm not gonna lie. The 19th Amendment needs to be abolished. So, like I said, the story is basically this millennial named Violet, and she gets a job basically working at Big Pharma in Narnia, where they harvest minotaur milk to make Viagra for human males. and I read the
Let me guess, this book is also fighting against patriarchy, because they're literally letting guys eat minotaurs. Come? As a Viagra? Oh man.
the whole thing. Probably gonna be put on some kind of watch list. But listen, this is my job, okay? I'm not out here like selling feet pics or something. What I do is far more dignified and normal. Now, let's take a look at some of these notes I wrote. Let's see. Big dick and balls. At one point, she says the term, and I quote.
Don't quote.
The seam of his sack. So I'm reading this, and the whole time I'm thinking, like, okay, he probably has, like, a human head, right? He probably, like, looks something like this. Like, you know, just a dude with, like, horns. Then I see the official artwork. That's a cow. Bro is a cow. Bro is a straight up...
Dude, that's even worse than Tauren. No way. Nah, I'm gonna wait.
cow. In a few parts they're being intimate, and it will be like, his hooves clip clopped. My hooves will tear up your sheets. And it's like, I'm sorry, his what? At one point, she describes kissing him. And I swear to God, it was more disgusting than anything else described in this book. She's like describing how big and wide his mouth is and how big and like slimy his tongue is. She's like describing this shit and you're just like, that's a cow. I mean, we are at a solid 5.5 on the Barbeau scale here. This is dangerous territory, folks. She also...
No.
f***ers his ass. She f***ers the cow's ass. By the way, if you want an uncensored version of this video and all my videos,
Dude, that book cannot be for real. That's pretty much, I know, not in the ass, but they inseminate cows with this huge fucking injection, right? Like pretty much raping the cow, so it's kind of a real thing, right? But what the fuck, man? That book cannot be for real. I can't believe that, like, that. And it's a bestseller, man. I should write some shit like this. Can you imagine 20 years ago someone selling the book like this? Dude.
Patreon. Go to Patreon, become a member. All members get the uncensored version of every video, so you can hear me talking about s***ing and f***ing and f***ing a cow's asshole. Is that what you freaks want? Anyway, I like how in this fantasy
Not
world
really.
student loans still exist. Like, we can imagine a world with minotaurs and humans in a relationship, but we can't imagine a world without student loans.
Kind of don't have an issue about this. Like, I know, like, the PC games, right? Video games, whatever. We hate when it's too realistic, like DEI, pronouns, and whatever, because you're trying to escape reality. But from what I've heard about that book, student loan, you'll forget about it in like 3 pages, right? Like, it just gets so crazy that you won't even remember that there was some
Sad.
student
Oh, and
loan.
he has one of those bull rings, like the nose ring theory septum rings. And in this world, that means like you're married, but apparently he's divorced. The man is divorced. This is a divorced cow with a cow ex-wife. The lore is deep, folks. The funniest part, though, has to be when they go on a date. I need to just read this to you. When the bill arrived, she attempted to pull a handful of carefully folded bills from her wristlet before he stopped her. No, that's absolutely not happening. Put that away. She'd not thought about it until the day after their first dinner together, realizing that in mortification that she ought to have attempted to pay her half. What kind of feminist are you? She asked her.
There you go! I fucking said it! It's gonna be some fucking leftist book. Like, it all clicks together, see? Hey, I wonder if I can identify now as this bull, cow, minotaur thing. I don't know, I should be able, no? I should be, like... Since there's a book about it, I should be able to say that I'm Minotaur.
herself. She couldn't remember the last time she'd been out and hadn't paid for her half, including her coffee date with Carson Tinsley. She had come prepared that night, several weeks of her tips smoothed and tucked into her wristlet. But I didn't even offer to pay half the other night and shouldn't have. Violet. If the commanding rumble of his voice hadn't silenced her, the heat of his hand dropping to her knee would've. I don't want you to feel that you don't have any agency here. I might be the one giving all the orders, but you hold all the cards. Your comfort is the only thing that counts right now. And if I overstep, I want you to know you can tell me so. But that's not happening. Don't think I'm unaware we're at different points in our careers. You can say no, you can say you don't want to see me again, you can tell me to stop coming to the farm when you're working. It's dinner, not a down payment of your time. But I'm in a position to comfortably...
Wait, so... The guy's... the cow is not at the farm. So is the farm just a brothel? Or is it like a donation center? Or... kind of feels like a brothel. So she's pretty much just a whore for cows?
Spoil someone. So when you're with me, I'm spoiling you. End of story. She was a good feminist, she told herself, and she definitely couldn't be bought. But if he had suggested at that moment that he would have appreciated a blowjob, she would have fallen face first on his cock with an open mouth without a shred of hesitation. Inside...
I mean, to be fair, like, is it still a feminist? Like, can you even talk about it when you're talking about animals? I don't think so, no. Like, it's a male cow, male minotaur, whatever. It's not like human male, it's not a guy. So I guess all of these feminist rules should go out of the window. But again, you don't, like, literally, it proves that you never know what's going on in the left's head. And it's crazy, I'm gonna spin it onto politics again. Obviously, I will. Like, it's... See, this is a reason why we need religion, why we need conservative party, why we need Republicans, because they won't let this shit to get to schools. Like, look, it started with you can be whatever you want, and now you have books about fucking cows. And I'm not saying fucking cows, but literally fucking cows. Like, girl fucks cow. And they're still try to put realistic spin on it with student debt and feminism. Like, it's just crazy. And for me as a parent, like, that's why I would never vote for liberals. And yeah, like, the liberal values are just out of the window. You can not like conservatives and Republicans because they're Christian, they have Christian values, right? But what's the other option? Other option is chaos and literally evil world, like, or the world controlled by devil. And if you want to tell me that this is not a devil, like cow with horns, the girl is fucking a cow.
Every woman, there are two wolves. Or two bulls. The strong, independent girl boss and the submissive, doting housewife. And in the presence of a masculine man, or a farm animal, she will fold like a lawn chair and instantly return to factory settings.
It's dinner, not a down payment for your time. But I'm in a position to comfortably spoil someone, so when you're with me, I'm spoiling you. End of story. I said, okay, I highlighted that paragraph for myself.
Should I be mean? Boys, should I be mean? I'm not gonna say you know what I mean, but I can't say it. No.
Clean up aisle 5. So that's what I thought of it. But what did other people think of it? What are the reviews on this book? This book has a 4.1 on Amazon with 21,000 ratings and a 3.6 on Goodreads with nearly 60,000 ratings. Let's just read some random ones here. Hear me out. Hear me out. A milking good time. Sweet and creamy. The spice is spicing. I was very leery of starting this because I thought it was just going to be porn. The plot is pretty good. The plot? Please. This is like the new, I read Playboy for the articles. Like,
Yep,
sure you do.
yep.
This book could kill a Victorian child. 5 stars. I'll never look at a jug of milk the same. I think I'm lactose intolerant now. So that happened. Our eyes will never see the gates of heaven. 1 star. Not a helpful guide. This book failed to teach me how to milk a cow, and now my family has no food for the winter. 1 star. Accidentally ordered while on pain medication after an operation. Gave this to my mom as a joke gift for Christmas. You
That's bullshit. Joke gift for Christmas on April 1st?
What? Lesai. Why can't human
he will
males
give it
be
to
more
her?
like this? Tall, rich, and handsome are no longer.
You know why can't human males be like this? Because there are females that read this shit and enjoy it. Like, you know, you can't have standards. Like, the standards go both ways, right? Like, you still have some good guys that are loyal, don't cheat, go to the gym smart, make decent money, supportive, everything, right? But what makes you think that you're entitled to have the guy like this? Especially if you read the shit like this. Or if you're doing OnlyFans. Or if you have body count like hundreds. Right? Or if you... Like, the standards go both ways. Like, you have good guys, you have good girls. And yeah, if you're a bad girl and meet a good guy, well, the chances are that it's not gonna work out. But again, hear me out. My idea, and I have few friends that kind of confirmed it, is that even if you're a shitty guy, if you find the right girl, you're gonna be a good guy, good husband, good boyfriend. But you need to find the right girl. And it's not like she's gonna try to change you. You're gonna change for her. Like, you're gonna be doing things you've never done for other girls. And I saw it on my good friend who was a personal trainer, right? He was in a relationship with this girl and they were cheating on each other and they knew it and whatever, right? He was such a player. And then he found the right girl. It was one of his clients. We knew about her. We were always, everyone was thinking that these two belong together. And now he's a great fucking husband, loyal, they have kids, like, he completely changed. And I have a lot of examples like this. So honestly, I think it's just about meeting the right person, and then even if you were a scumbag before, that doesn't mean that with the right person you're gonna continue, right? But again, standards go both ways. So if the girl is reading this shit, and I'm sorry, like, to me that's even worse than porn. Like, you're a fucking cow. Like, you're literally reading about zoophilia and you're enjoying it. So yeah, like, if you enjoy this book and you write comment like, why can't male be like this? Well, they are, but they're not gonna choose you. End of story.
Enough, boys. Now you have to be a 9-foot-tall creature from Greek mythology with
Okay,
a 13-inch
well, they're not
dick.
like that.
I never
but-
want to hear from another person about how they read 100 books in a year if this is the kind of slop they are consuming. Well,
Amen,
Ronald, man detected, this isn't for you. This is for women. So take your ass back to Barely Legal Babysitter 5 or whatever the f*** you watch that is so morally superior than this. Let him who is without sin cast the first stone, okay? God bless America. It's great to live in a country where I can casually enjoy cozy erotica about a young woman who milks her way to financial security and true love with a minotaur. This is what freedom looks like, and I intend to fully enjoy it before the Supreme Court takes this right away next. If this is what freedom looks like, I'm really rethinking my stance on freedom, not gonna lie.
That's what Asmon says all the time, that not everyone should have a right to vote. And like, it's true. It's true. And it's not only about stupid people, right? Like, I don't know, there should be some test before you go vote. Something that tests if you know why you're voting the way you're voting. Because let's be honest, it's all over the world. Like, I'm from Czech Republic, people do it in my home country as well. I live in Canada, same thing. Like, people just see the billboard. They see one quote and they're like, oh, I'm gonna vote for that person. And it can be total scumbag. It can be someone who's trying to take their freedom of speech, take their money, or, you know, carbon tax and bullshit like this. And they will still vote for that person. So yeah, like, I feel like there should be some knowledge test before you're actually allowed to vote, prior to every single election.
Maybe we should have less of it. All I know is if Donald Trump takes the monster porn, we are going to make 2020 look like a picnic.
Monster
okay?
porn? Wait, there's more?
Bullcock matters. Oh my god. Edit that out. Editor, edit that out. Women are going to be picking up Animal Farm now, like, where's the horse cock? Some of you people owe a certain street.
Wait. I never played the game Animal Crossing. Is that why girls like it?
An apology, because this book has way too many 5 stars. Some of you are lying. So after buying this book, Amazon has given me a few interesting recommendations. Would you like to see them? I accidentally summoned a demon boyfriend. That time I got drunk and saved a demon. Gentling the beast. Cupcakes for my orc enemy. Mane of my existence. The gargoyle and the spinster. The widow and the orcs. Hoarded by the dragon. There's something about dragons. Getting it on with gargoyles. Gotten by the gator. Mated to the mountain bear. Oh, so...
Okay, so I'm not very religious, right? I'm just finding my way to religion. But even for not very religious person, this looks like some devil shit. And yeah, like you're literally reading about sleeping with demon. I don't know, man. Like, if that doesn't tell you, again, I'm almost 100% positive that all of these people are on the left wing, right? But like, look, the human morals are just so messed up. And if you look at the Bible, that Eve was pretty much there to kind of tempt Adam, or she did, right? Like, I don't even know what to say to that, but no, like, it looks like devil's literature, and you're like, it's not even about the sin anymore. It's not even about a boy meets girl or whatever. Really, demons and stuff like that?
This is why they chose the bear. The billionaire orc. Moth manager. Wolves and whipped cream. The wolf in my tavern. Pounded by produce. What? Are these the books the Nazis...
Wait, let me see one thing here. How funny that it's chubby girls on the title, and it's not the only one, right? This one is in the gym, but still a little bit. Oh, this one's pregnant. But yeah, like, how funny. We know for whom this literature is, right? Again, like, it's looks like it's for the Karens who are not able to find a boyfriend. But why do you need to kind of try to push them on the devil's side, you know? And we know who these people vote for. Again, like, man, the world is doomed if something doesn't change. And I'm not saying take someone's freedom of speech away, but I don't know. It's getting too far.
Orc, moth manager, wolves and whipped
See,
cream.
this one's
the
chubby.
wolf in my tavern, pounded by produce.
Not again, man.
Are these the books the Nazis burned?
My husband only reads finance and sci-fi books, and so I think it's about time that I introduce him to some real literature. So the first book that I would like to introduce you to.
Real literature. Like, look, I listen to a lot of audiobooks because I have a long drive to work, right? I love Raymond Feist fantasy books, right? Like Rift Wars Saga and all of this. Now I started reading a book from Richard A. Knack, Diablo books, World of Warcraft books, or Warcraft. I bet these girls would consider it garbage. But man, these books are so good. And she's calling this a real literature. Look, guys don't even need to read about the sex, man. It's like, give them a guy with the big sword who kills demons and good. And you have morals in there. It's like, yeah, kill demon. Demon bad. Devil bad. And on the other side, the girls are reading about fucking devils. It's like, hey, maybe guys have it wrong. Maybe the girl wants to be abducted and raped by the devil.
Called Morning Glory Milking Farm, and it's not a normal milking farm like with cows. What it
Oh
is
my god.
is it's big, bulky minotaurs, and
She can't be
it's
serious, no.
a special type of milking.
See, honey, she's his stepsister, and she got stuck in the washer machine again. Women on TikTok are openly, proudly talking about the porn they consume and getting mad at people when they make fun of it. I hereby ban men from reacting to romantasy on TikTok. Best-selling romantasy books like A Court of Thorns and Roses and A Fourth Wing contain descriptions of hot sex. I feel like that's common knowledge, if not their primary.
How is it even called romantasy? Like, you know, like romantic book or romance and fantasy, like if you mix it together, how do you come to this conclusion, man?
Purposes. But in recent months, book talk has become full of men clutching their pearls while reacting to steamy scenes from these popular female-centered books. Obviously, this is all a massive performance. We live in the age of OnlyFans. The odds are that these men have seen actual porn that defies the laws of physics and God. Over 90% of men between the ages 16 and 73 watch porn in any random month. There's statistically no way all of these guys are shocked by the sex itself. What they are gawking at is sex from the perspective of female desire, scenes that depict women coming first and frequently. And what they are surprised by is the women they know love these scenes. In one video, a guy declares, "Now I know why women enjoy book clubs and wine." But his astonishment in itself is astonishing. Like, what do you think adult women were into? Not having sex and drinking wine? Grow up. Imagine a group of men sitting around drinking wine, discussing the porn they watch. That is what you guys are essentially doing. It's just funny, okay? Like, it's funny. Are we really?
No, again, I think it's even worse because you're literally reading about zoophilia, demonophilia, unholyphilia. I don't know, man. Gargoyles? Really?
Going to pretend that a story about a young woman getting a job milking mythical creatures to pay off her student debt is not funny? It's funny. If that makes me a sexist or misogynist, you got me. To act like you are so different and above the other Gooners is just, it's silly. I'm sorry, but you are no different than Joe Schmo jorking it to fat booty Latinas in Space 12. You're sitting there all high and mighty, one hand on the book, acting like you're so superior because you can perfectly envision a horse cock spinning 360 degrees in your mind. I'm not impressed. The scenes these men are reading, to many people, myself included, are insanely sexy. But purely in terms of the acts being described, they aren't all that lurid. And as many of the comments on these videos point out, there is much wilder stuff out there. For example, these men have clearly not yet discovered nodding, a popular term in romantasy right now that involves werewolves whose penises get so swollen after sex they have to stay inside their partners until the swelling subsides. Oh, Oh, honey, that's not a popular trend in romantasy. That's just a thing real dogs do. Oh, you just don't get it. You don't know what knotting is. What are these women reading, bro? What happened to that, like, stupid fucking corny Hallmark thing, going home for Christmas to your hometown and falling in love with the cute farmer boy? What happened to that? We used to make fun of that. We truly did not know what we had until it was gone. Now women out here fantasizing.
And again, here we go. The Hallmark thing was, I don't know if it was back in the day liberal, but now it would be considered conservative or Republican, right? Because you have two humans falling in love, possibly Christian or religious, right? Maybe virgins, maybe not having sex until marriage, whatever. But in these books, you have a girl jerking off a cow, girl sleeping with demon, girl sleeping with gargoyle. Like, where do the morals go? It's not even, like right now, it's not even the one without the sin throw the stone or whatever is it called. Like,
about getting their asses clapped by demons and werewolves and goblins and ghouls.
Exactly.
I remember when 50 Shades of Grey came out and people were like, oh my god, this is so crazy. Women are crazy. 50 Shades of Grey looks like missionary sex through a bedsheet for the sole purpose of procreation compared to the shit the average woman on TikTok is reading. At least Christian Grey was a human man and not a fucking dog. You fantasize about dating the quiet, shy, nerdy girl. You know, she's innocent, she's pure, she's not like those other girls, like going out clubbing and hooking up with random men. No, she's at home, curled up by the fire in a blanket, reading a book, except that book is about f***ing a half-man, half-bull. Let me let you in on a little secret. The quiet, nerdy girl is way more of a freak than the average hoe. Are you kidding me? It's not even close. The average hoe might have a body count of like 15 or so, but the quiet, nerdy girl is fantasizing about getting back shots from Cthulhu. That is at least 100 bodies. Now listen, there's nothing inherently wrong with fantasizing, okay? There's nothing wrong with role play. You know, fiction is fiction, right? You know, you're not actually going to bang your stepsister, right? These women are not actually going to bang a cow. Or at least I hope not. We all know there is a difference between fantasy and reality. Well, what happens when they try to bring fantasy into reality? Well, you get Sinners and Stardust. What in the eyes wide shut is going on here? Sinners and Stardust was supposed to be a dark romance ball for romantasy authors and fans alike. So what's the big deal? Seems like a fun, sexy time, right? Maybe, if you're a woman. If you're a man, the night may have gone a little differently for you. Alright y'all, it appears I have to make a post that I'm frankly pretty goddamn upset I have to make. This post is for the readers who don't understand consent and boundaries only. A lot of you may know my good friend Animus. He's attended a signing of mine in the past and obviously is a musical artist. This past weekend, he attended Sinners and Stardust and probably had one of the most heartbreaking experiences. So listen, he's a man, right? But do we think that means it's okay to put your hands all over him without consent? Or to put your hands in his waistband or down his pants or touch?
That's exactly what I was thinking. He's a guy, right? The guys don't need to give a consent according to the girls. It's the same thing, like you can't be racist towards white people, right? Well, let's continue. I think some people will be very surprised.
Hello? Do we think it's okay to quite literally back him into a corner and touch all over him to the point that he literally cannot tell how many hands are on him and whose are whose? Do we think it's okay to send him into an actual panic attack because of this? Furthermore, do we think it's okay to interrogate him and insist he detail how he'd kidnap a woman, despite him repeatedly saying he wouldn't do that and you know that shit is fiction, and then attempt to follow him when he tries to get away? And if that wasn't enough, during the time of this mob, him and another author received notification that an air tag was tracking him, which showed on his person all the way to his hotel room. They molested this guy until he passed out from anxiety, and then they put a f***ing tracker on him in order to stalk him back to his hotel. This poor guy dressed like a character in one of the romantasy books at this romantasy convention full of women. That is like throwing roast beef into a pit of wolves.
Man, he definitely went there to get some, you know, Gucci. Well, it kind of backfired. we all listen to the music because of some girl, right? We all read or saw the movie that some girl liked. But man, these girls are crazy. Like I said, left.
Or in this case, throwing a wolf into a pit of roast beef. I remember years ago there was this thing called cosplay is not consent. Basically it was a campaign to bring attention to the fact that people at conventions would often come up to women dressed in sexy costumes and just grope and grab them without their consent. Yeah, apparently we have to bring that back because these women did not get the memo. I've been a furry for over a decade and attended a lot of fur cons. Sure, sometimes weird shit happens, but honestly I can't believe the dark romance crowd is out here acting like this. Like me and my buddies in our fursuits are more respecting of consent and bodily autonomy. Get your shit together, y'all. When the furries are calling you out for being freaks, you need to reflect. Something has gone horribly wrong. Not only were the men at this book talk convention assaulted, but women were also assaulted by women. Multiple women, including a performer, reported being assaulted there as well. Even an author there said she was groped and dragged away from her friends and said no matter how many times she said no, quote, my words did nothing. May I remind you, this is a book convention, okay? For books. Literal BDSM clubs are more respectful than this. There needs to be more studies on how this stuff affects women's brains, because clearly some are unable to tell the difference between fantasy and reality. Ivy Lipton, a doctoral candidate in human sexuality, actually wrote about this for EV Magazine. I don't know what a doctoral candidate in human sexuality is, but she's hot, so I trust her. Your brain on orgasms isn't neutral. Dopamine release during climax is a powerful conditioning agent. What you repeatedly fantasize about becomes necessary for arousal. If your erotic imagination centers around abuse, monstrous violence, and submission to non-human entities, your brain is reprogramming itself to crave just that. It's not empowerment, it's neuroplasticity at its darkest. Scientists, psychologists, and the general public often state that men are visual and women are emotional. When it comes to sex, men can be turned on instantly by a sexual image despite their mood, and women need to be turned on emotionally to get in the mood. So it stands to reason that porn for men is visual and porn for women is in the mind. I'm not equating porn to smut novels, because one is a video of two people actually having real sex, and the other is, well, just words on paper. I am, however, talking about the effect on the consumer. We know watching porn is bad for the brain. That's been proven and only rejected by gooners who don't want to give it up. But is reading smut bad? You might say, duh, that's the whole point. Okay, fair enough. So let me rephrase, is reading smut harmful? Should we shame people for things that are wrong, immoral, or harmful? In my line of work, I've been told many times that shame has no place in sex. But if I use my brain for 2 seconds, it's clear that line of thinking is nonsense. Incest should be shamed, bestiality should be shamed, pedophilia should be shamed. I'm not equating monster smut with these things, but there are 50 shades of gray, so to speak, along the spectrum of harmful. Conditioning your brain and body to associate pleasure with monsters, slavery, or sexual violence is not healthy. Basically, they're cooked. Like, women are cooked. They are frying their brains with this stuff. It's a pipeline, right? It's like the infamous evil alt-right pipeline. You know, you start watching ShoeOnHead, owning the feminists in 2015, and then in 2025, you're hailing Hitler, right? You know, the alt-right pipeline. And this one's like, you're reading Morning Glory Milking Farm, and the next thing you know, you're Mrs. Hands, right? Just say no. Just say no to monster porn. But why is monster smut so popular with women in particular? Like, you rarely see the opposite, and when you do, it's just like a girl with cat ears and fangs, or like a 10-foot-tall dommy-mommy vampire with giant titties. Meanwhile, women are like, I want to f the pollution monster from Fern Gully. So people on Reddit asked this very question. Let's see the responses.
Reddit, man.
Why do you guys like monster romances? Asking for a friend. Several reasons. 1, human men are quite often terrible. Romance books with human men are already partly fantasy, but monsters just takes the fantasy bit further. 2, it's sort of human nature to imagine relationships with paranormal beings and creatures. We've been doing it in literature and art for centuries. It's just gotten a lot more graphic now, lol. 3, unique body forms / parts and so many different kinds of dicks. Scary, mean, terrifying creature is sweet to her, kind, takes care of her, protects her, works hard to be gentle, etc. Maximal escapism, minimal association to real-life assholes, the patriarchy, misogyny, and oppression of women, etc, etc. Because the monsters are less dangerous than dating actual men. As a fat woman of color, modern, contemporary, and even...
Do you see It's literally what I'm telling you. This whole video, it's fucking left, fucking woke people. Like, really, they shouldn't be allowed to vote. Like, look, what are we talking about? And the monsters are less dangerous than real men. It reminds me of whatever podcast when they asked them, would you rather be stuck in the forest with random man or random bear? And the girls actually say random bear.
And fantasy romances are hard to click to because they are almost always about thin white women and just too realistic.
Go to the gym.
And romance in real life is not always attainable for
Go
fat
to the gym.
women/women of color.
Go
In
to the
monster
gym.
alien romance, though, my size doesn't matter and it's easier to get into that headspace and enjoy it. I'm sick of the men on Earth and looking for some variety. Non-humans haven't betrayed and hurt me, so they feel like a safe haven, if that makes sense. Plus the unusual dick. Monsters have big, fun-shaped dicks, like a safe haven.
Do you see? What did I tell you? What did I tell you?
If that makes sense. Plus the unusual dick. Monsters have big, fun-shaped cocks. I love some bizarre peen. Unique genitalia. I don't know what I was expecting, honestly. A lot of women's smut, especially monster smut, is about submission, domination, forced breeding, non-consensual consent. The women are like conquered and taken and overpowered by these monsters. Yeah. And I think many of these women are reading these books containing monsters and not men because masculinity and dominance in men has been completely demonized in modern society. But the truth is, many women still crave it. You see, the monsters in these stories have those, like, dominant masculine traits that women like so much, but they're not human men. They have all these traits women desire.
Yeah, that's exactly what... I'm not gonna say that group again, but they consider patriarchy and being masculine and all of this like a bad thing, right? But if it's not human, I guess it's good. And it's funny that in the end they crave it as well, and they go to the extent that instead of acknowledging it might be good, it might be necessary, they'd rather dream about demon.
Without the problematic baggage human men bring, without being the men they hate or have been told to hate. It is the perfect guilt-free slop. But they don't just want a wild dominant man, they want to tame a wild dominant man. Similar to when a man sees an artho with a nose ring, you can save her from her daddy issues. You can do it. It definitely won't backfire and ruin your life. Go for it. Go talk to her. With many women, there's this desire for, like, danger and aggression, but also the desire to tame that danger and aggression. The desire to be that special woman who can melt his heart. You see, my dragon boyfriend could rip me to shreds and kill me instantly, but he won't because he's nice and he loves me. But honestly, at the end of the day, just like the video I made about the anime girl in a wheelchair where men were saying, this is the average male fantasy, and a bunch of women were like, you want to rape a disabled girl? When in reality, it was just a distilled manifestation of the average male fantasy, which is to protect and provide for a sweet woman and save her. This is like basically the flip of that, right? This is just the distilled manifestation of the female fantasy. Men are seeing this and they're saying, what do you mean you want to milk a minotaur? When in reality, it's just to have a big, strong protector and provider swoop you up and save you. And like I said in that video, they're basically both the same fantasy. This is a tale as old as time, the princess being saved from the dragon by a knight in shining armor, whether the dragon be a wheelchair or student loans, you know? But in this case, the woman is being f***ed by the dragon and the knight sits in the corner and watches or something, I don't know. Maybe it's not that deep. There are some hungers better starved than fed. And maybe as women, for the sake of society, we have to starve our hunger for minotaur p***ness. Yeah, that's the moral of this video. So what do you guys think? What is your theory? Why is the monster romance genre so popular with women in particular? And who is your weirdest hear me out? Be honest. I don't want to hear no Lola Bunny, okay? You all know mine already.
Oh, Lola Bunny.
It's not that he's a fish, okay? He has an energy, okay? He has a vibe. You know what, never mind. And I will see you guys again really soon with a new video. Bye!
I mean, to be fair, apparently guys are into like anime porn, which is weird as well. But so my opinion about this, it's a bunch of woke leftist girls who are actually 90% don't care about their body or anything. Yeah, I'm pretty much said fat and ugly, right? So they're not able to get a guy, and they're trying to like blame a guy for that instead of hitting a gym or trying to work on themselves, right? And yeah, patriarchy, misogyny, masculinity, all of this is bad because you're on the left and woke, right? So the way how they get to that, again, oh, demon, good. First of all, it's not religion, and religion's connected to conservatives, right? Moral same way. So yeah, somehow I would like to think that it has a specific audience, but I bet there's some normal girls reading that as well. But again, like what got me at the beginning of the video is that the girls are expecting some standards from the guys, but it goes both ways, right? It's like if you don't want a guy who watch porn, but at the same time you're reading this bullshit, I don't know. Like again, the guy who watches porn, as long as it's normal porn, it's two humans. The girl is dreaming about getting fucked by a minotaur. Or even a ghoul, like undead. It just went too far, and yeah, like I said, I'm all in for freedom of speech, and like I said, I live in Canada. Our freedom of speech is kind of threatened right now. Who knows, maybe I'll get charged of the hate crime for this video. But look, some of the books should not be normally accessible, and something like this is definitely one of them. Like we're still talking about the adult girls, right? But what if some 16, 15-year-old girl gets to this book and reads it? You know how it's gonna fuck her up for life, probably. Like we're always looking at the DEI from our point of view, right? Like, yes, I'm adult. For me, either it's bullshit or it's good, whatever, right? But you're fully developed adult. What about your kids? What about the future generations? How is that gonna affect them? You know? And that's me as a father, how I'm looking at the things right now. Like World of Warcraft, you know, body type 1 and 2. Does it matter for me? No. I see body type and I'm like, yeah, that's girl, yeah, that's guy, whatever. You want to call it 1 and 2, stupid bullshit. But what about my kids? See, that's the difference. So anyway, like, it's long story short, crazy world we're living. We need definitely better morals, and like I said, I'm not religious, but we need to bring a God into our life for sure.